Next is no blame. This is aligned to my experience with running a lot of blameless postmortems, and this word marked me as somehow one of the first items to be able to achieve psychological safety. In a culture where the first reaction when an incident happens is looking for someone to take the fall, missing an opportunity is something that happens daily. Because the truth is, whether we like it or not, incidents is gonna happen. Errors are gonna be made. Mistakes gonna occur. This is everybody know that. So we can't stop that. The second best thing we can is to learn from them and make sure it doesn't happen again. Once you go deep down and you try to understand what's going on and why the error happened, is never as easy as engineer A made a mistake B, and that led to downtime or client impacted incident C. There is always a bigger story than that. In a culture of blamelessness is required to openly be talking about this kind of stuff. To achieve that, the first thing you need to do is, for this kind of meetings where we'll be discussing these incidents, have a facilitator. It's really easy for people to downplay the role of a facilitator, but somebody who has the expertise, the passions, the knowledge to run this kind of non-blame interaction in a structured way will help a lot in making sure that things don't go off the way. Second is mention that this is a blameless place. This is a place where we are not looking for scapegoats. We're not looking for who screw up, nothing. This is a place just to understand what's happened and learn from it and make sure it doesn't have it doesn't get repeated again. The third thing is beware the conversation moving to a place you don't want. Keep an eye, and this is why the facilitator come really handy. They keep an eye on the conversation to make sure it doesn't get to a place where blame is the only thing that is left. Fourth thing is stick to the facts. I see a lot of companies who create a timeline that allow them to stick exactly to what happened. Time A, incident Y, time B, action Z, again and again. The fifth thing is to focus on future remediation, not the past. When the conversation go to a place where, oh, we should have done this, that's gonna be inviting blame. But when a conversation go to next time we will do that, that's really easy and will lead you to a place of blamelessness. The sixth thing, make sure that you have clear decisions, clear action items, clear remediation paths, and apply them. This simple fact might sound a little bit out there, but you need people to believe in the process. And the only way people will believe in the process if meaningful action came out of it. And this was why the sixth tactic is really important. Sorry for my language. This is a phrase that okay, to understand the context of this phrase, you have to understand that I am a huge fan of Jeff Sutherland. His book Scrum, the art of making the art of doing twice in half the time is one of my biggest inspiration. And I like this. This is actually a copy from his book, but minus the explicit word, since he used the explicit word. But the idea is, there is this kind of culture where everybody is kind to each other. When you have everybody is kind to each other, the culture is already set. You just need some time, some work to structure things, and then everybody is going to be working great. But kind here doesn't mean to be in a complacent way. Like, it doesn't mean to never mention what goes wrong, because that is against psychological safety. This is mentioning and calling out people. That is your right to psychological safety. So you should not be afraid on holding people to the highest level of quality and deliverable. And when somebody make a mistake, they should own it, as we mentioned. But this doesn't mean that this accountability doesn't mean that we need to be bad to each other. Psychological safety is about feeling safe, and anybody who might hurt that kind of culture need to be dealt with. This might be a PO or another engineer or a leader or anybody who either intentionally or unintentionally inspire fear in people. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of this chapter, as Jeff Sutherland said, don't be an e-hole and don't allow that kind of behavior. While as a Scrum Master, you don't have the right to fire and hire people, you have the right to talk to them. You can talk to them and make them aware of the kind of actions or words they said, and they made it hard for other people to express themselves, and make it clear that that kind of behavior is not accepted on the team. If you need help, you can reach out to the manager, you can reach out to other people, but make sure that when you notice something that might hurt psychological safety, you don't let it slide. In conclusion, I want to say that there is this word that we use often in the Agile world, Kaizen. Kaizen is about getting better each day a little bit. But this improvement is always coming from the team. You need to get them to speak. All through this talk, we saw that the only way to do that is to create a culture of psychological safety. And we saw how to do that. But the thing that I want to leave you with is that culture is not a set it and forget it thing. Without proper maintenance, the psychological safety you worked so hard to achieve is going to disappear, and in no time. So be aware of the shift in workforce. We have our teams, we have our organizations, and people come and go. And when people come, they bring their own perception with them. They might have been working in a company where psychological safety is not the norm, and when they come to a place where psychological safety is just given, they might start acting like they used to, and that is going to affect the team. Even if you are not dealing with new members and you are dealing with the same team, it's not uncommon to see people who achieved any level of mastery or anything lose that mastery after having achieved it. So keep in mind that it's something that you have to do almost every day, and be aware of the signals. If you see that there is a degradation in the level of safety in your team, try to use one of the tactics we mentioned to make sure that you can bounce back and repair what has been broken. Thank you so much for your time. Now we can go to the question section.